Hey, everybody. Good morning. It's still morning here where I'm at. Not quite any longer in Texas. I told you guys that I took last week off since we were on our way um, to New Mexico, which is where we are now. You can see our little luminarias behind us. Um, and it's not as snowy as it has been in the past. The snow is actually melting away in a lot of places right now, but there's still enough on the slopes to have fun. But anywho, welcome everybody back to Monday Kick in the Pants. Hope you are all surviving the holidays. Glad that you guys have. I think probably some of you are maybe glad that it happened yesterday and we're back at it today. But it's good to be back in a rhythm, right? Even with just some of the traditions that we have, some of the stress that we put on ourselves. It's sometimes good to have it behind us. We still actually have two celebrations in our family, actually a couple, more than a couple, between now and the end of the year. My hey hey Amy, yeah, happy for another week off, absolutely. But yeah, we have my husband and I have our anniversary here in about 3 days, and then it's the end of the year, which I think most people celebrate. You know, the New Year, New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve is actually my little sister's birthday too, so she and I both have holiday birthdays that have fireworks. If you didn't know, my birthday is the 4th of July. But anyways, I hope you guys are having a great holiday. Hopefully, getting lots of time off. I'm really excited about having some time off, but just wanted to come live for you guys just one more time between now and the end of the year. This is the last Monday in 2022. I hope you guys have had a great 2022. I really wanted to talk just quickly about what do you do for reflections at the end of the year? Some people will go back and look at what their goals were for the year. I follow Denise Duffield Thomas, Denise DT. If you know her, she wrote the book Lucky Bee. She's written the book Chill and Prosper. She's written some great stuff about how to, create the life that you want, but you can also do it with ease and not kill yourself. She and I are both drivers, if you know what that means. So, anyways, she talks about how she looks back on the things that she's accomplished, some of the stuff that didn't quite make it the way they wanted it to. Maybe they didn't quite hit, some financial goals. But, still look back at how you accomplish some things that you wanted, and be grateful for those, and actually sit in it for a little bit, if you know what that means. Just kind of go back and reflect on what you did accomplish, because it's really easy for us to look at the 10 goals we had for the year and 9 of them were accomplished, but one of them wasn't. But then we get down on ourselves for that one that wasn't. But it's not that's not necessarily the best thing for us, right? There's still a lot that you accomplish, not only the 9 of the 10 goals, but maybe those 9 plus some other things that weren't on the list. So it's always good to look back and recognize the good, recognize the growth you have in 2022 versus 2021. I can honestly look back at 2022 and recognize the growth from the year before, where I am professionally, where I am personally, where I am as a parent and a spouse, and all of those other things, right? So that's one thing you can do for reflections. Another thing I was listening to, if you don't listen to Mel Robbins, she's fantastic. She's had a podcast for just a couple of months now, and it's like number 1 across the world already. Imagine that. If you haven't followed her, she's an amazing inspirational speaker. I love a lot of things that she talks about. The one she released yesterday, it was released on Christmas Day. She talks about, how do you identify friction in your life, and how you can look back at 2022 and make 2 lists. Just draw a line down the center of a piece of paper, and on the left, write down the things that you hate from 2022. Excuse my language. She actually writes down, the shit I hate on the left. And then on the right, the things I love. So what are the things you write down on the left that were frictional for you? So maybe it's your bank account gives you friction. You're not happy about where your bank account is in 2022. Maybe it's something at work. For instance, at my work, I told you guys I work at a defense contractor. I have been a salaried employee for almost 20 years now, February 3rd. So I guess 4 weeks from now, it'll be 20 years. Um, We are basically still hourly employees, even though we're considered salary employees. I don't know what's up with my light here, but that hourly anxiety stresses me out still. Even 20 years in at this company, it still is somewhat annoying to me that if I get all of my work done in 38 hours, I still have to find something to do for 2 hours and then charge it because we charge the government by the hour. So these are some of the things that may have caused friction for me. Maybe it's maybe I feel like I wasn't generous enough last year. I didn't tithe enough. Maybe those are some things that are friction for 2022. And then the things on the right side, things that I love. Like I love spending fun times with my kids, with my family. I like playing games. In fact, last night we started playing charades with our boys, and we ended up playing for over 2 hours. It was so much fun. It didn't cost a dime. We were just in our cabin here and decided to play charades. The kids were on one team, and the adults were on the other team, and we just had the best time. It was extremely entertaining, and like I said, just absolutely free. Um, some of the things I actually like doing with my kids too is just running errands with each of them. It's kind of a silly thing to think about, even if I'm just taking one of them to go buy shoes for football or for cross country or something like that. It's enjoyable for me to go run those errands because one, I feel like I'm providing as a parent, and two, I get to spend unique time just with them. It's another way for me to get one-on-one time with them because you guys know that's one of the things I really cherish in life. I like listening to books. I love Pilates. What are the things that I love? But then after you go through these two lists that Mel Robbins talks about, the stuff you hate on one side, the things that cause you friction in your life, and maybe some of the things that cause you friction in 2022, and then the things that you loved in 2022. How do you get the items from the left into the column on the right? What are you going to do to deal with? One of the ones I wrote down is I have a broken dishwasher. We've been dealing with it for almost a month now, trying to find the right one. The week before we left Texas to come to the mountains, we were washing dishes by hand, back to old school, right? But it's what am I going to do with the stuff that's on the left that's causing me friction in my life to move it to the right? I'm gonna go decide on a dishwasher and just move on with it because I'm tired of the dishwasher that smells like mildew and washing dishes by hand and fighting with my kids on who's gonna wash dishes by hand. What am I gonna do about my time pressure? And the anxiety I get at work for the time that I have to do. What am I gonna do to move that to the right? What am I gonna do about that? I'm gonna have to think through that. How am I gonna not let that anxiety bother me? So these are two different ways that you can go back and reflect on 2022 and how you may want to do something different in 2023. I hope that's helpful for you all. I hope that you guys are having a great holiday season. I know that sometimes the holiday season is really tough for people. We've lost family in the last year as well. I have a cousin who's, a single mom who's doing the best she can with her kiddo during this time. My aunt and her husband lost his mom last year, and this is the first Christmas that they're dealing with that. A really good friend of mine at work lost his oldest son just a couple months ago in October, and they're just chilling this year. Their other three kids are coming home, and they're dealing with a lot with the first year that they only have three kids at home, and I hold you all in my heart, and I pray that you all are just trying to rest and relax and recharge for the end of the year, even though I'm sure you're hurting and still trying to heal. So I hope you guys have a great rest of the year. I hope maybe one of these ways of reflecting on the end of 2022 and how you may do something different in 2023 helps you out. I also did want to just put a quick little bug in your ear that we're going to be doing some rebranding on Your Lifestyle Leader and the stuff that we are doing, and that's going to be coming out pretty soon too. So I just thought I would drop that in here for you all, and then we will talk about what we're planning to do this year for some programming and training and things like that, and hope to have that for you in the next week or so. Again, happy holidays, happy new year, and we will talk to you all next year. Happy Monday, happy holidays.